Here, this is Lord Potato, and this is what if Naruto was, well, the reincarnation of Vergil and had the system. Now, I should mention one thing. Well, this is part 3 of it, and no recaps because it's like 2 months, I think, ago, or 1 month. Yeah. But I want to do this, what's it called, part 3. Also, I might be doing part 5 of What If Naruto was Saraki Kampachi today, probably tomorrow, or probably on Monday. Now, I should mention one thing. On Monday, there's a lot of things that are gonna happen on Monday, so I don't know if I'd be able to have time. Well, not a lot of things. I'm just gonna wake up really early to take someone towards school and all that because it's summer school for them, but not for me, thank God, because I don't have any school. Not yet. Until I told you that one date, but I don't know if that many people watching. But other than that, let me begin into the what if and shut the fuck up. Because I have an idea. So, we go into Naruto going back to his house. After the long journey, or not long journey, the long day of him kind of fighting against Roman knights. Roman knights and, well, mostly soldiers with bows, swords, and him almost getting killed by an elite knight. This is where, well, he gets to his house, takes a nap, wakes up, sees his health is 40 because, yeah, when he sleeps, his health just regenerates real fast. But yeah, this is where Naruto says, time to just do my daily training. But yeah, Naruto, he does his daily training. He still meets, well, a girl named Ayame Uchiha. Of course, Ayame, who, her eyes are a very, like, kind of crystallized blue eyes. A little bit crystallized. This is where it's kind of dark a little bit. But, of course, she has black hair. Has a little bit of highlights of crystal blue, kind of on it. Kind of, I should mention, yeah, a little bit. And this is where, well, she is wearing a blue shirt, black shorts, and, of course, black sandals. This is where she smiles at Naruto and waves at him. Naruto waves back. And, of course, if I can remember right, the last time, I think there will be... I don't remember when I gave Naruto the system, so it'd be like them being 8. Yeah, 8. So Naruto's 8 still, so yeah. This is where Naruto says, hey, Ayame. This is where Ayame says, oh, hey, Naruto. So, where were you for 3 days? This is where Naruto says, that was 3 days? Shit, I should really get stronger before going into dungeons. So yeah, it's been 3 days. Naruto was gone. This is where Naruto says, oh, I kind of felt sick. Yeah, I felt sick. I couldn't go outside and my parents were healing me to full health. This is where Ayame says, oh, interesting. This is where, well, Naruto says, yeah. This is where Ayame says, oh, that's interesting. That's so cool. I would actually like to meet your parents. Naruto says, oh, well, they kind of just left to do stuff outside the village. I don't know when they're coming back, but yeah, don't worry about it. This is where Ayame says, oh, okay. This is where she kind of saddened because, well, not saddened, she just nodded. And this is where Naruto says, so, what are we going to do today? This is where, well, Ayame says, wait, Naruto, did you buy yourself a, what's it called, tanto last time? Naruto says, yeah, I think that's where I kind of got sick. I didn't wash my hands before eating. Oops. This is where Ayame kind of smack her head and says, you idiot. So, can I see your tanto? This is where Naruto shows, it's just a tanto with metal, and of course it has a little bit like scratches on it. This is where, well, she says, are you sure you didn't get a used tanto? Naruto says, I think so. Oops. This is where I am says, whatever, Naruto. Let's just go to the store. I'll buy you one. This is where Naruto says, let's not. This is where she says, no, because if we train and I try to slice at you and you block with that tanto, that's almost broken, I should mention, you will kind of get hurt. That's where Naruto says, I'll be fine. This is where I am saying, no. I will take no for no answer. This is where Naruto sighs and says, fine. This is where Ayame goes to the store. This is where the man looks at, well, Ayame and Naruto. And this is where Ayame says, I'm here to not return this blade. Mostly want to buy another blade. Yeah. This is where the person named, well, this is where the person name is Higurashi, and Higurashi says, oh, another blade, I see. What kind of blade? Tanto, mostly. This is where, well, the person says, okay, do you want a duel? No, she says, no, it's for my friend over there. This is where Naruto's looking embarrassed. This is where the man says, didn't you just buy a tanto like 3 days ago? Naruto says, yeah. This is where, well, he says, what happened to it? Did it break? Because you probably got one of the cheap ones or something. This is where Naruto says, yeah, that's what kind of happened. Luckily it didn't break, it just kind of had scratches and marks. I was trying to train with it while I was sick. This is where, the person says, you know you can exchange for it. This is where Naruto says, wait, really? Yeah, don't throw it away, just give it to me. I would just melt the metal and kind of reforge into another blade or something. This is where Naruto nodded. This is where Naruto is looking through like all the tantos that this man has. This is where Naruto sees a tanto that he kind of really likes. This tanto has, well, a kind of white handle, and of course the blade is fully black. This is where Naruto, for some reason, has this weird like energy oozing off this blade. This is where Naruto grabs it, and this is where the person, well, the man did get the tanto, the broken tanto that Naruto barely kind of has the durability on. It like has 35 durability on there. It had, well, 500, now it has 35. It's about to shatter with 35 more hits. This is where, well, Naruto looks at this tanto. It's like oozing off this purple energy. He doesn't know what it is. But of course he grabs it. And of course this is where, well, Naruto just swings it around. This is where Naruto sees the tanto is very light. It isn't heavy like that tanto that he bought. Even though that tanto wasn't that heavy, this tanto is very light and very limbo at the same time. And has this weird energy oozing off. This is where Naruto used Analyze to see what this is. And it says demonic tanto. This is where Naruto says, what? Not demonic tanto. It says cursed tanto. This is where Naruto says, huh? This is where Naruto reads on the tanto. Cursed tanto. It's one of, well, it's a black blade entirely. This blade is forged, well, not just with metal, but forged with someone's power into the blade. Mostly adding, well, their kind of will into it. But this blade is kind of oozed by a, well, not ooze, it's used by a person that had a very dark presence of will. So, of course, this is why it's a cursed blade and not some blade of will. This is where, well, Naruto reads on it and says, huh, that's what it is? But it feels so natural for me. I don't know why. This is where, well, Higurashi turns, just comes back and sees Naruto holding the black tanto and says, kid, I don't think you should get that one. This is where Ayame is saying, whoa, Naruto, that really looks cool. But this is where when she tries to grab it, she feels like this kind of weird sensation of not to grab it. She gets scared of it. This is where Higurashi says, don't grab that one. It's not for sale. This is where Naruto says, what do you mean it's not for sale? But it says right here, 50,000. Well, what's it called? Not 50,000. Actually, let me actually do the math for, instead of Naruto having 38,000, I'm gonna have you, that weapons and armor that Naruto sell was actually more than just 8,000 together. It was, well, about 30k for each of the pieces, making Naruto have about 120k a yen. This is where Naruto says, but it has there 50k yen for it. This is where Higurashi says, damn it, I forgot that I put it there. This is where Higurashi says, no, it's not for any sale. It's a cursed weapon. I don't want you to get hurt. This is where Naruto says, huh? Cursed weapon? How about this? If this is actually a cursed weapon, how about if I throw it up in the air and put my arm out? And if it hurts me, it's a cursed blade. If it's not, then can I keep it? This is where the man kind of gets nervous and says, fine. But don't blame me if you get hurt. So what Naruto does is basically what Zoro does in what's it called, not Alabasta, in Loft Town. Yeah, Loft Town? No, Laugh Town. You know when, what's it called? No, not Laugh Town, Loft Town. Fuck sakes, I forgot that name of that what's it called, island. But yeah, it's where Roger gets executed, and where he kind of find the blade and all that. That kind of supposedly cursed blade. And of course, Naruto does the same thing as Zoro. And this is where the tanto is just going down. It's about to hit Naruto and just misses Naruto with just a thin piece, like just like 0.1 centimeter. This is where, well, Naruto, he then just sees that the tanto missed him on purpose because Naruto was looking at it. And it seems that the tanto would have scratched him, but missed him on purpose. This is where, well, the person, Higurashi, kind of breathed in. Well, not breathing, breathed out because he was holding his breath. And this is where Ayam thought that Naruto was crazy. This is where Naruto says, see, now can I have the blade? This is where Higurashi says, fine, keep it. I guess the blade seems to decide to go for you as his, well, as his new owner. That's why Naruto says, so wait, is it for free? Yeah, kid, you don't need to pay me anything. That's why Naruto says, sweet. This is where Naruto gets the sheath of the blade, and of course the sheath is black. This is where Naruto saying, this tanto's really cool. This is where Naruto says, thanks. This is where Ayam says, get another one. This is where Naruto says, why? It's for free. This is where Ayam says, no, I don't mean that. I did say that I wanted to, well, buy you another one, so it's better if you get another one instead. Like for practice and all that, yeah. This is where Naruto nodded and decides to get another tanto. And this tanto has, well, the handle being like white also. The guard, well, the little guard of the little tanto is kind of blue. Instead of being like kind of brass or anything, it's blue. And the sword itself is kind of having a lightish blue tint to it. This is where Naruto says, cool, this one looks cool. This is where it's actually more, well not more, it's actually less than the cursed blade. It's 48k, and this is where, well, Ayam kind of says, oh, that's way too much out of my kind of money. Because if I paid, then I realized I had to go buy some stuff. Oops. This is where Naruto says, no, it's fine, I buy it. This is where, well, Higurashi says, is that all? Naruto says, yeah. Also, I want to know the name of the cursed blade. This is where Higurashi says, don't know. I got it when I was traveling. Or mostly, not me traveling. Mostly, a merchant gave it to me. Saying that this blade was kind of very strong. But every time I tried to touch it or move it, I kind of felt really unnerved with it. So I don't know what the blade of the name is called. This is where Naruto says, oh, what about this one? The blue tinted one. This is where, well, this is where Higurashi says, this is called Serpent Sea. This is where Naruto says, Serpent Sea, interesting. Because it does have a pattern on the blade, like a C kind of pattern. So yeah, that's where Naruto says, very interesting, very cool. This is where, well, Higurashi nodded and says, yeah, well, good luck with your training, you two. Hope you two, I get to see you when you become ninjas. That's where Ayam says, yeah, thank you. That's where Ayam says, oh, Naruto, I'm gonna have to go to the grocery shop. So yeah, since my mother and also, well, my sister need some food. So yeah, and yeah, this is where Naruto nodded and says, then I will see you later. This is where Ayam says, yeah, bye. This is where Naruto, he has his two blades, and he did use Analyze on, well, his newest blade called Sea Serpent. Oh yeah, it's called mostly that. And this is where Naruto, he kind of swings it around. And of course, it kind of like, when he swings it around, this kind of bluish aura appears on the blade every time he swings it. This is where it's kind of thin for him, but he managed to see it. He did use Analyze, and it said, Sea Serpent. This blade, it contains of a very powerful, potent use of water chakra. This is where Naruto says, what? That's interesting. Huh. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to train with more dungeons, or more, mostly, what's it called, training. This is where Naruto looks at his timer and sees that, well, he still has a couple more hours to do his training. So that's what Naruto does. So we go into, well, a month of Naruto being able to now go into a kind of B-rank dungeon or not even B rank dungeon. This dungeon was unknown to him. It didn't even say anything. When he used analyze, it was just question mark, question mark, question mark. So Naruto was confused, but yeah. Now, Naruto was becoming good friends with Ayam, and Ayam was very happy with Naruto. So we go into Naruto going to dungeon. This is where Naruto goes into a dungeon and sees that this dungeon has like stone pillars. And this is where Naruto keeps going and walking towards. This is where we go into, well, a what's called 4-year time skip. This is where, well, I am kind of went in the academy and kind of learn and all that stuff, but not, yeah, 4 years. Of course, this is where a situation in Konoha was happening. This is where, well, Ayam was right now with her tanto kind of trying to help, well, her sister. Her sister was kind of kidnapped by a stone ninja. And also, well, there was 3 stone ninjas and 3 Kumo ninjas. This is where the stone ninja managed to steal, well, Ayam's sister. This is where the Kumo ninjas, who were actually missing ninjas. They weren't even a part of the stone or Kumo exactly. This is where the Kumo took Hinata, Ayam's other friend that she managed to befriend. This is where Ayam is right now getting help by her other 2 friends. One girl with having kind of like a lightish blue hair and of course bluish eyes. This is where her other friend had dull blue eyes and blonde hair. This is where, well, she had mostly 4 other friends. And this is where her other 2 friends, one with red eyes, black hair, and another with blue eyes and white hair. They seem to be twin sisters, but they hate each other. And they're not really twin sisters at all. They look to be the same age, but they're not. This is where they're trying to save, well, Ayam's sister, who has like this kind of very light blue hair to look like crystallized. And of course her eyes are kind of in a snowflake pattern. This is where, well, not snowflake pattern, mostly a kind of sea blue color pattern. This is where, well, Ayam is right now trying to save, well, her sister and her friend from Kumo and the Stone Ninjas. This is where Amusa right now appearing, trying to stop the situation, and Harusen also appear. This is where Harusen says, "What are you missing ninjas doing here?" This is where they say, "Oh, we're just here to take these girls. We're going to do not very, we're gonna keep them." This is where Harusen says, "No, you don't." This is where Ayam's sister's right, Ayam's sister's right now crying. She's saying, "Sis, help me." This is where she gets her mouth covered up. And of course, this is where Harusen says, "Let her go." Right now, the Almas are trying to get close without even having them kind of have their swords kill the girls. This is where Harusen says, "Damn it. I wish someone else, I wish Minato was here." But where... I wish Minato was here. This is where he kind of becomes depressed a little bit also, because he remembers the fact that Naruto also disappeared 4 years ago. This is where he never seen Naruto again. Ayam is right now, she is right now kind of, well, scared for her sister and scared for her friend's life. This is where, well, Harusen doesn't know what to do. This is where, well, something happens. A Kuma Ninja has his, like, had a slash through his, well, armor, because he did have armor, and the slashes appear, well, multiple slashes, and of course his body just bleed out and fell down to the ground. This is where one of the Kuma Ninjas that were holding Hinata and the other one was confused. And this is where the Stone Ninjas were also confused, and Harusen was confused, until a Stone Ninja got his neck just slashed off. This is where, well, the Stone Ninja was like, what are you doing? You don't want to see these girls, well, safe? Fine. Then I'll kill. This is where both Kumo and the Stone Ninja were about to like stab the girls, and they were throwing their blades straight to the girl's head. But of course, this is where, well, Harusen said no. This is where, well, it looked like time froze, and a person just behind both the Kumo and Stone Ninja, because yeah, they were very close because they jumped close to each other. And this is where, well, some person with silver hair, blue eyes, holding it looks like a katana, putting the blade with the sheath, closing it slowly, ching. And this is where you hear all in the background, So yeah. Also, if rip ears because I'm gonna blast your ears with that music. But yeah. Uh, yes, it is. Well, someone named Vergil. Well, truly not Vergil. Vergil's reincarnation. And if you did hear that music blast, I'm sorry. I'll probably put it in the title. Um, don't put headphones. I can't put it in the intro because yeah. But other than that, rip your ears. But if you can still hear me, then yeah. So this is where the person does close the blade into his sheath, and this is where he holds the blade out. This is where the two peoples like kunais and mostly they're kunai that are trying to drive into Ayam's sister and her friend who is Hinata Hyuga kind of got their hands cut off. This is where Harusen was shocked. This is where both of them were shocked. Even the other two who were not doing anything were also having kunais and shurikens, but they were confused. And this is where Ayam's sister and Hinata were kind of like also grabbed really not grabbed really fast, just kind of took him really fast, and it's right now next to Ayam and what's it called, Harusen, or mostly not Harusen, next to the Hyuga family like Hiyashi. This is where the two ninjas, they were confused until they tried to turn around because they were going to scream, but they were more confused in who the person was. This is where the other two turns around confused, and this is where Naruto's pathetic. This is where their bodies explodes into a million pieces. The ones that kind of got their arms cut off. This is where Naruto was standing there right in the middle of one of the Kuma ninjas and the other stone ninjas, the last two. This is where Naruto's blue eyes are kind of glaring at both of them. This is where yes, this is Naruto. This is where Naruto's about 6'1". He is tall as fuck for only being 12 years old. But yeah. Also, Naruto's wearing a long blue coat, just like what Vergil's wearing right here. This is where, Naruto looks at the two of them, and this is where Naruto says, This is where, the other two were right now checking their bodies because they didn't want to explode like their kind of comrades. And this is where they realize that their bodies aren't going to explode, and they just get ready to fight against Naruto. Naruto says, "Calm down, you pathetics, before I accidentally kill you." On accident and not on purpose. This is where, Hinata was right next to her father, and she was confused how she even got here, and even, Ayam's sister. This is where, Harusen was confused. Who is this silver-haired guy? Now, I should mention that Naruto... Did I mention that Naruto had blonde or silver hair? I can't remember. I'm gonna say he used to have blonde hair, but now it's silver. Like, kind of white silver, mostly. This is where Naruto says, let me kill you two right now. This is where both of them say, "Who are you anyway?" This is where they say, "Before we kill you, bastard, for killing our comrades." This is where Naruto says, "Oh, you want to know my name? Before I murder you, I guess you should all hear my name. My name," he even said this out loud, "my name is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze Sparta. And this is the person to execute you for your crimes." This is where, Harusen hears that name. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze Sparta. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze Sparta. This is where Harusen says, "Where have I... Kushina? Who? Wait a minute. Naruto found out his last name. This is not... He's right now having the biggest, just brain overload in his head. This is where, the two last rogue ninjas were confused, and they were like, that yellow hair bastard's son?" This is where Naruto says, "Of course, and your executor." This is where they rush at Naruto to say, "Yeah, right, you're his son." This is where Naruto says, "Don't believe me? I mean, no one really will believe me. But here, catch my kunai." This is where, they dodged the kunai. Well, the stone ninja tried to dodge. This is where Naruto appeared and says, "Sup." This is where the stone ninja widened his eyes. He knows where that came from. The flying Raijin. Naruto stabbed him right in the head. This is where, Naruto doesn't need to use the flying Raijin, but he has it anyway. This is where, the stone ninja's, head got stabbed, and this is where Naruto pulled out his kunai. This is where, well, his kunai looks silver, looks to be silver color. And of course, the handle itself doesn't have symbols exactly. Well, it has blue symbols on it, but this is where his kunai is mostly silver. It doesn't look like a 3-part on kunai. It actually just looks like an actual normal kunai, but just being silver. This is where, oh, Naruto looks at the Kumo Ninja. He's freaking out. The Kumo Ninja just realized that this is definitely the Yellow Flash son. But why is this kid's hair silver and not yellow? Who are you? This is where Naruto says, you guys are pathetic idiots. Like I said, I'm your executor, but if you don't want to listen, that's good to know also. This is where the person says, I won't die! He goes through hand size real fast, bite his finger first and go through hand size, and says, summon style! What comes out of the summoning, it was a, well, what comes out is a goat. This goat has, well, white fur and has horns. Very, very sharp horns. And of course, he isn't that big, bigger than the actual person that summoned him. And this goat is about, I'm going to say, 8 feet. This is where, well, the goat goes, meh. This is where Naruto says, interesting, a goat summoning. Huh, I don't really care. This is where the goat rushes at Naruto. This is where the man says, die then. This is where Naruto says, really, you think I would die that easily? Fine, come on, goat. The goat is rushing in high speeds, straight towards Naruto, and Naruto grabs his blade, because he put back the kunai, and grabs his blade with one hand. Well, grabs the sheath, and grabs the other, well, like handle with one of his hands, and just opens it a little bit and puts it back together. This is where the goat just runs past Naruto, and this is where, well, what really happened was Naruto was so fast that he did a clean slash through the goat. The goat didn't feel it, but when the goat tried to turn around, he was cut into 2 pieces. Well, yeah, 2 pieces. Most of his legs was cut off. This is where Naruto says, pathetic. The goat just poofed away. This is where the Kuma Ninja was shocked. He didn't even see the boy move. He thought the boy gave up, but no, this is definitely that yellow-haired bastard offspring. Even though he never heard of Minato Namikaze having an offspring. This is where Naruto appears right next to the Kuma Ninja and kind of tells the Kuma Ninja, you know, I know you're definitely not rogue ninjas. You are rogue ninjas, but I know who hired you. Isn't that the little pedo snake freak that hired you 3 to try to kidnap some of the Konoha ninjas for his little dirty experiments? This is where the Kuma Ninja widens his eyes and says, how do you? This is where Naruto says, oh, how did I know? Well, that's for me to keep and for you to never find out. But you can find it out in hell. This is where Naruto, he puts his, like, he had the, okay. Naruto had his blade, like, right near the guard. And, of course, this is where Naruto, he kind of, like, puts his thumb to the guard, pushes his blade up, and then lets his blade go down. That's where Naruto walks away from the Kuma Ninja, and the Kuma Ninja exploded with all his body parts just flying away. This is where Naruto says, pathetic. This is where Naruto looks behind him and sees Hiruzen Sarutobi. This is where Naruto smiles. Well, not smiles like happily, smiles with this evil grin. Naruto, he walks towards Hiruzen. This is where Anbus appeared because they're right now scared for the Hokage. Naruto appeared right next to Hiruzen Sarutobi, saying, hello there, Hokage-sama. Or should I say Gigi? This is where Hiruzen widened his eyes. He said, Naruto? This is where I am, who's right now looking at the boy who right now just saved his, well, not save her sister. And of course, this is where Ayam's mother's right now crying right next to, well, Ayam and her sister. And this is where her sister is saved. And this is where, well, her mom says, Umi, Ayam, I'm happy that you 2 are alive. Umi, I'm very happy. Weren't you scared? This is where Ayam kind of was scared a little bit. Well, mostly the mother says, Ayam and Umi, I'm happy that you 2 are alive. This is where, well, Umi is crying with her mother. And this is where Ayam is confused. One of her eyes with blue is kind of looking at the boy who's right next to the Hokage. having his right arm on the Hokage's shoulder. Because Ayan's hair grew longer, and of course her black hair covered up one of her blue eyes. This is where, well, Naruto is kind of talking to Hiruzen in his ear, and kind of just telling him, it's been a while, let's talk in the office, why won't we? This is where Hiruzen says, wait, what are you, this is where Naruto disappeared. This is where the Ambos are trying to find Naruto, but they're like, where the fuck did he go? This is where Naruto appeared right in front of an Ambu. This is where this Ambu had brown hair and a bear mask. Or not bear mask, I'm gonna say a bird mask. And this is where the bird mask was colored like kind of greenish. And this is where Naruto says, so you must be Kabuto. Kabuto, one of that pedo snake's lackeys. This is where Kabuto widened his eyes and saying, how did you, this is where Naruto appeared right next to him, grabbing him from the neck and saying, how did I know? Easy, I'm not an idiot. But tell this to your pedo snake buddy. I'll be coming for him in a year or two. I don't know when I'll be coming for him. But if he ever shows up his stupid, ugly ass pedo face again, I'm going to kill him and take back what he stole from the Shinigami. This is where Naruto whispered that last part. This is where Kabuto widened his eyes. He was like wondering how Naruto even knew. He said, how do you... Oh, how do I know? I was hired. I was hired to find him and kill him and take what's rightfully, well, for mostly a god. So, be a good boy and tell him that I'll be coming for his ass and stabbing him into a million pieces. This is where Kabuto was let go and Naruto walked away. This is where Kabuto tried to rush at Naruto to intend to kill him because Naruto turned his back away from Kabuto. And Kabuto was about to hit Naruto and, well, missed Naruto entirely. This is where Naruto cuts off one of Kabuto's arms. This is where Kabuto screams. He tried to just bite onto his lip because he wasn't wanting to scream. This is where Naruto says, I'll be taking this as one of my trophies. This is where Naruto says, actually, taking it as a trophy would be pathetic. Instead, Kabuto, look right into your arm. Your arm that was cut off clean. It was burnt with these bluish, silverish flames. This is where Kabuto widened his eyes and jumped away from Naruto. He needs to get away from Naruto. That speed, that unnatural born speed. Naruto wasn't using any techniques. That's where Naruto smiles, walks away, and goes towards, well, some people that were watching, well, the whole fight. People with blank mask. And, well, a person with just his eyes being covered up, and yeah. Or mostly he has a closed eye and one covered up with bandages. Naruto appears right in front of him and says, hello, you must be Danzo Shimura. You know, I don't like you or your Root Ambus, so I'm gonna take you all out. This is where Naruto pulls out his blade, and this is where he says, Yamato, cuts them all down. This is where Naruto puts his blade back into the sheath, and this is where Naruto says, goodbye, you losers. They explode into nothing but just pieces, and I mean tiny bits of pieces of just blood. This is where Naruto legit just erased their ass in an instant. This is where Danzo is no longer a problem to him. This is where, well, we go into Hiruzen's office. Hiruzen managed to get to his office and just sign, when is Naruto going to appear? This is where Naruto appears right in one of the chairs, mostly in the couch, just sitting down and saying, hey there, old man. This is where the Ambus widen their eyes because they never sensed Naruto presence being there. This is where all Ambus jump out. This is where even the Root Ambu, because, well, he doesn't have the emotion and seal on anything on. So, of course, he doesn't need to follow the Danzo. He can now focus and think and all them other things. This is where he tries to attack Naruto also. This is where Naruto grabs the Root Ambu from the neck and says, interesting. It seems that you don't follow Danzo no more. Then again, I did kill him. So, it doesn't matter. This is where Naruto kind of just threw the Root Ambu straight towards the three Ambus that were about to appear. Well, mostly they did appear and tried to rush at Naruto. It was one with purple hair and a cat mask, having a, like, sword out. This is where the other two, one was big and he had a bear mask and had brown hair. and another one had like tealish blue hair rushing towards Naruto, and they all get hit away with the root ambu. This is where Naruto says, pathetic. Hey, Hiruzen, maybe get one of your Yamanakas or whatever Yamanaka clan to look into that root ambu's head. Then again, I killed Danzo, so if you do find anything interesting, well, I'll be able to look into his head. Because the steel is gone, but whatever. This is where Hiruzen widened his eyes and narrowed his eyes at Naruto. This is where Naruto says, yeah, Naruto's whistling, doing a jolly tune, and sitting down right in front of Hiruzen. That's where Hiruzen says, all of you almost disappear, and take that root armor towards Inuichi Yamanaka, and tell him to look through his mind, okay? This is where all of them nodded. They all were kind of scared of that harsh tone. This is where they all disappeared. This is where one Ambu didn't really trust Naruto and tried to stay. This is where he says, but what if that person tries to kill you? This is where Naruto says, kill him? If I would have already killed him. Naruto already appeared right next to Hiruzen, having his hand on Hiruzen's head. Well, mostly hat. This is where the Ambu gets on guard. This is where Hiruzen says, go. This is where, well, the Ambu say, fine. He disappeared. This is where Naruto says, not that we won't ever be able to talk, Hiruzen. Or should I say Gigi. Naruto sits back down on the chair, or mostly couch because it was comfy for him. And this is where, well, not, like couch. He mostly sat on the chair and had his kind of legs up for a second. This is where, well, he kind of put his legs onto the table of Hiruzen and says, so, it's been 4 years. Long time, don't you think, Hiruzen? Hiruzen says, it really has been a long time, Naruto. I was thinking of changing my name towards Vergil, but it would never kind of make sense. So I really didn't change it. This is where, well, Hiruzen says, how do you know about your father? Oh, how do I know about Minato Namikaze, Kushina Uzumaki, Jiraiya the legendary Sonic being my godfather, Tsunade being my godmother? How do I know about that? Oh, well, it's a lot of questions that you will need answers, right? This is where Hiruzen widened his eyes. How does Naruto know that Jiraiya and Tsunade are basically his godparents? This is where Naruto says, also, how do you think I know about Orochimaru? This is where Hiruzen says, Orochimaru, what did he do? Oh, nothing. I'm just having to kill him. It's a little bounty quest I have to do. But, you know, bounty quests are gonna take a while for an S-rank ninja like him. So, yeah. This is where Hiruzen nodded, thinking Naruto might be a bounty hunter or something like that. This is where Naruto says, oh, well, if you're wondering what happened to me 4 years ago, where have I gone? Oh, well, I can't really tell you the truth, because I want to keep secrets for myself. Then again, you keep a lot of secrets from me. Basically, who was my mother, who was my father, who was my godparents. And the fact that the biggest secret was I have the full 9 tails. Which, it's kind of stupid for you to kind of put that away from me. Putting the Jinchuriki's, well, jailer away from a kid who's basically going to be a weapon for Konoha. That's pretty stupid, don't you think? This is where Hiruzen widened his eyes. Naruto already knows about the 9 tails. This is where, well, Naruto says, but I don't really hate you, Hiruzen. I don't hate the village. I hate some people and I might kill them later, but I don't hate everyone on the village. I don't really resent them. I think the village is beautiful. In some parts, I wouldn't say all of the village is beautiful. I'll say some parts. But you remember that dream I had when I was young, right? When I was only 7 or probably 6. The dream of I wanted to become Hokage for people to see me. Yeah, that dream really, I don't care about that dream no more. I don't want to be Hokage. Look what happened to you. You're old. You have to do all that paperwork. Which, might I say, I have better things to do than just sit and do paperwork. So I'm good instead of being Hokage. This is where Naruto chuckles. This is where Harusen just grumbles and says, I guess that is true. So you don't want to be Hokage just like your father? Bleh, your father? Naruto says, no, of course not. Minato's, well, dream was his dream. My dream is my dream. Of course, our goals were completely different. It's not like father and child should be following each other's goals. No, they should always have their separate ideas, dreams, and all them other things. Which, my dream is to just become really strong. Very strong. Powerful enough to protect those that I probably care about. Like Ayame, Big Sis Ayame and Taiuchi. Which I haven't seen them for 4 years and I haven't ate ramen for a while. I'll probably visit them later. This is where Harusen gets up and says, then let's go visit them right now. You're probably hungry and starving or wherever you went. This is where Naruto says, oh, are you gonna treat me to ramen? This is where Harusen says, I guess so. This is where Harusen says, also you're pretty damn tall. How tall are you, Naruto? 6'1". Okay, yeah. Okay, I hate the fact that I am shorter than basically the child of, well, the person I put to be the fourth Hokage. This is where Naruto laughed and said, huh, I guess that's true. This is where Harusen says, I hate the fact I'm 5'3" and you're over here 6'1". Naruto just says, because, well, it can't be helped. Probably because I'm still young. This is what Harusen says, when I was 12, I was barely even, what's it called, 6'1". I was at least 4'9". This is where Naruto says, well, no one can really be good looking like me and still be this tall. This is where Harusen says, oh, shut up, Naruto. Oh, shut up. Let's just get to ramen. This is where Harusen unprivate the seals because he did put silent seals, but yeah. This is where both Naruto and Harusen are going towards the ramen shop. This is where, well, Inuichi is right now getting the mind control, well, not mind control, mostly searching into the Root Ombu's like head and finding out a lot of stuff. Like the Root Ombus is still alive, Don's is still being there, and yeah, yada yada yada. This is where, well, we go into Naruto and Harusen get into the ramen place. This is where Taiuchi says, ah, Harusen, nice to see you. I heard that there was a very interesting kind of fight. What happened there? This is where Harusen says, oh, just some problems that we managed to solve. Thanks to the help of, well, your number one customer that you haven't seen for, well, 4 years. This is where Taiuchi says, what you mean, Harusen? Or Hokage-sama? This is where Naruto, he walks through, of course being kind of too tall, almost hitting his head in it. And Naruto sits down in one of the chairs and kind of just looks at Taiuchi and just kind of waves, and even Ayam. And this is where Naruto says, hey Taiuchi, and hey Ayam sis, or big sis. This is where, well, Ayam says, huh? Wait, the only person that called me Ayam big sis was Naruto. This is where Naruto smiles and says, hey. This is where Taiuchi says, it's been 4 years, and you're that tall. And this is where Ayam says, and much handsomer, with silver hair and those blue eyes. So cool. This is where Ayam kind of jumps over the counter and says, wait, not jumps over the counter, kind of came around and says, wait, Naruto, how tall are you? Ayam kind of tries to measure her height at Naruto's height, and she realized that he is taller than her. And this is where Ayam says, how are you taller than me? This is where Naruto says, oh no. This is where Ayam is 16 while Naruto is only 12. And Naruto says, oh no, I'm only 6'1". This is where Ayam says, I'm only 5'4". Huh? This is where Naruto says, oh well, that seems like a problem for you. This is where Ayam says, Naruto! Kind of shaking him. This is where Naruto's like, ugh, can you not shake me? This is where Ayam says, sorry. It's just, I'm angry the fact that you're taller than me. This is where Naruto says, it seems a lot like you just need to eat more vegetables. This is where Ayam says, that's what I do. This is where Naruto says, This is where Taiuchi smiles and says, you're pretty tall, Naruto. And what happened to your blonde hair? This is where Ayam says, yeah, what happened to your blonde hair? This is where Naruto says, I guess with all the stress and stress and working out. Probably turn my hair white. This is where Tayuchi says, I mean, you look still good, Naruto. And this is where I am says, yeah, you really look amazing. This is where Naruto says, sorry, big sis, but I don't really date, well, my big sis. This is where I am saying, well, that is true. You are only, how old are you? 4 years younger than you. This is where I am says, yeah, you're 12. This is where I am says, who am I ever gonna find someone to date me when I'm older? This is where Naruto says, you can always try to find someone in Leaf Village. They're all assholes. This is where Naruto says, that seems like a lot of you. This is where I am trying to punch him. Naruto dodged pretty easily. This is where I am saying, that's speed. This is where Naruto was right next to her and kind of pokes her in the head and say, poke. This is where I am saying, ow, you bastard. This is where Naruto says, I just wanted food. Please don't hurt me. This is where I am saying, I shouldn't really attack you. Okay, then we will get food for you, Naruto. Naruto says, yeah. Also, Harusan will be paying. This is what Harusan says. Yeah, that's why I brought you here. Cool, because I'm about to get 50 bowls of ramen. This is where Harusan says, wait a minute. This is where Harusan says, wait a minute, Naruto. I just said I'll treat you food. Doesn't mean you gotta make me buy so much. Naruto laughs and says, I'm just kidding. I'll get 5. This is where Tayuchi says, 5? Don't you eat more than that? This is where Naruto says, I might be taller, but I still don't wanna, like... Well... I still want to be taller than just 6'1", maybe 6'5", but 6'1" would be good enough. And I don't want to stun my growth by just eating ramen all the time. So I will come once in a while after, well, a very hard training of, well, my training. This is where, well, Tayuchi nodded and says, I see. You're really caring about your health and other things. Naruto says, yeah, of course. This is where, well, Tayuchi makes the ramen, he makes 5 bowls, and Naruto eats them all in one gulp. Think of how Luffy ate, Luffy and Alabasta eating all that fruit in one gulp. Yeah, that's what Naruto does, but he just swallows it all. This is why Naruto says, that was delicious. This is why Harusan says, you ate all that extremely fast. Well, then again, you are extremely fast for being only a kid and dodging my almost like it's nothing. And that just seems like a lot of those almost problems. This is where Harusan says, I hate you. This is where Naruto smiles and says, but at least I didn't waste that much money for you. This is where Harusan says, yeah, you're right. This is where, well, Harusan sees that he still has a lot of money. This is where Harusan says, so Naruto, you want me to buy you clothes? Naruto says, why will you even bother? I still have clothes. This is where Harusan says, yeah, but don't you want to wear orange? This is where Naruto says, why? Harusan says, come on. That was your favorite color. Very terrible color now that I think about it. I like this dark blue anyway. This is where Harusan says, that is true. I was trying to see if you were still the old Naruto. Naruto says, he's crazy. I'm not going back to wear orange. It's like if I was wearing very dark red. This is where Naruto does remember, what's it called? Not Danto. Dante. And this is where Naruto like, this is where, what's it called? Harusan says, well, I'm happy that you changed. I'm sad that I wasn't there to see you change. And I'm very sorry for all the things I hide from you. This is where Naruto says, it's fine. I don't really hate you and I don't resent you or anything. Sorry, I was about to sneeze and that's why I kind of had to try to pause the video because I had to sneeze. But, this is where, well, Naruto says, I don't resent you or anything. So it's fine. That's where Harusan says, good to know. Well, Naruto, in about 2 days, the final test for Genin will going to start. And so I was wondering you want me to be on a team by myself. Got it. That's where Harusan says, wait, no. I mean like a team. A team with other people. Naruto says, can I pick the teams? Why? This is where Naruto says, because I don't want to be put on a team with an emo ass or a, I'm gonna say, a very fangirl for an emo ass. So I don't want that. This is where Harusan says, I guess so. He was thinking of putting Naruto with Sasuke and Sasuke, but this is where he scratched that plan. This is where, well, Naruto says, well, good. Now can I pick the team? This is where Horusen says, I guess. This is where, well, Naruto says, good. This is where, well, we go into 2 days later. Well, not 2 days later. This is where we go to the next day, and Naruto did kind of picked out the team, sort of. This is where he was kind of put on a class that Naruto would kind of just see for 2 days. The first day is just some kind of studying and other things. This is where Naruto just had to learn the material really fast. Naruto learned it overnight. He just read those books so fast that Hiruzen was already impressed that Naruto was that fast in reading. He was shocked. And this is where Naruto says, so do I just go into the, what's it called, class? Well, not 2 days, mostly a week. And this is where Hiruzen says, yeah. You're just going to be a transfer student, and yeah. This is where Naruto smiles and says, good. This is where Naruto was transferred into a class, and Naruto just had to go to that the next day. This is where Naruto walks into that class. We'll mostly find the room in the class, and this is where Naruto says, I guess this is a class. Class B. Man, I had to go through so many places. Luckily, no one saw my presence. This is where Naruto, he opened the door so fast, but went into the room so fast that no one actually saw who opened that door. This is where, well, everyone was confused. And this is where, well, the teacher says, it must have been the wind. The teacher is this gray hair man with kind of black still on his head, or mostly hair on his head, and of course orange eyes. He was confused who opened that door. He's looking around the room to see if anyone kind of used one side, but he sees a kid with silver hair, or kind of whitish silver hair, blue eyes, wearing a blue coat, and just sitting there, chilling, and no one seems to even notice him. This is where this teacher says, interesting. This is where he looks all the way down and sees the name Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze Sparta. Yes, Naruto did put his full name. He doesn't care that much. And Hiruzen can see Naruto's very powerful. This is where, well, the teacher says, interesting. Very interesting. It seems that we have a new student here. This is where all of them were confused. A new student? What are you talking about? Everyone was confused. There's civilians in this class and even, well, clan heads, somewhat. This is where, well, the teacher says, come down here, Naruto. Is that your name? This is where Naruto nodded, and he disappeared from his chair and appeared right next to, well, the teacher. This is where Naruto says, and you must be Karasu. Karasu Yami. As you kind of see, if that is your name, right? This is where, well, Karasu nodded and says, nice to meet you, Naruto. It seems that you're only going to be here for 1 week. Then again, it seems that you already, well, learned about the materials here anyway. In only 1 day from the, well, news I heard from the Hokage. Naruto nodded and says, what can I say? I'm just a fast learner. This is where, well, the teacher says, I guess so. But can you please introduce yourself? That's where Naruto looked to all the class, or mostly all the students, and says, my name is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze Sparta. Nice to meet you, class. I think that's how you say it. Yeah, it's been a long time for me socializing. This is where Naruto, he looks through the class and sees, well, a black hair girl with one of her eyes being covered up, but this is where, from her black hair, her dark blue eye, and this is where she's wearing a kind of blue shirt, and this is where she's wearing black kind of pants and black sandals. This is where Naruto smiles at her, and this is where Naruto says, but I guess, what else do I have to say? This is where the teacher says, you can say what's in your mind, I guess. I don't know what you want to say. Fine. I am from, well, you can already hear from my last name. I am from the Uzumaki clan, whose descendants, and I am from the Namikaze, who's basically my father, the fourth Hokage. And Sparta is just a very last name that I have that's, well, from a very, very distant clan. As in where Karasu has already heard of those clans' names, except for Sparta. He has never heard of that name. Naruto took the name Sparta from his past life, Vergil Sparta. So of course Naruto just says, but that's all I wanted to mention. This is where Naruto says, now I will take my seat. This is where Naruto disappears. In a blink of an eye, no one saw him. This is where they say, where the hell did he see? This is where everyone turns around, sees Naruto just sitting there and paying attention. This is where they say, how the fuck does he keep doing that? This is where Naruto says, what are y'all looking at me though? This is where they say, they're confused. They're really confused. How is this kid so fast? They all say. This is where Naruto says, whatever. This is where we go into, well, the kind of lunch break. This is where a bunch of students are right now eating and all that. Naruto is right now on top of a tree branch, having his leg like on top of that tree branch and all that. And this is where he's sitting on, well, the tree branch mostly. This is where Naruto, he has his blade with him. Of course, he has it in, well, a kind of, well, not dimension, I would say. He has it in his system. Well, system inventory. He looks at his, like, he kind of pops up the system and starts reading it. This is where, well, it says, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze Sparta. Welcome to the system. That's where Naruto looks at his level. His level is 110. This is where Naruto says, interesting. Yep, 110. This is where he looks at his stats. His stats are, well, so Naruto looks at his status. Well, his stats mostly. It says IQ 340, strength 500, stamina so much that it seems to be infinite, and it says, well, 80k. Endurance and durability is like 10,000. Chakra / magic 500k. And this is where last thing is speed, and it's just off the charts. It's just fully off the charts. This is where it says like so much that's almost near 1 million or something. Naruto's speed is just so much. Probably the fact that he's Vergil's reincarnation, and also the fact that he's just that fast. But yeah, Vergil's pretty damn fast, so yeah. This is where Naruto, he says, very interesting. I'm happy where I'm at. This is where he looks at his classes, and this is where Naruto smiles. Well, kind of smiles, because he looks at his classes, or mostly job classes, whatever you like to say, and he has about 4 different classes. One class is called Curse User. This is where that class I'll explain later. This is where, well, it's a kind of, it says Curse User Samurai mostly, or Curse Samurai User. That's what it said. This is where, well, Naruto smiles. This is where the second one is called Monarch. Well, it's a Shadow Monarch and Demon Monarch. That's what, there's 2 of his classes. And the last one is, well, what's it called? It says the sun, well, not sun. It says, well, I can't think of, well, not the 4th one. That first one was called Curse Demonic Samurai Warrior. And, of course, the other 2 was Shadow Monarch and, well, what's it called? Demon Lord Monarch. But, yeah. So, Naruto has 3 of them. And Naruto, he knows what all those 3 does. So, it's basically simple explain. But, yeah. This is where, well, Naruto, he keeps just looking into his inventory, seeing all the stuff that he has that he might want to sell later, but maybe. This is where, well, Naruto then hears his voice being called. Hey, Naruto. Naruto. That's where Naruto looks down from the tree and looks all the way down and sees a girl with, well, a blue shirt, black kind of shorts, and of course black sandals. This is where her hair is covering up one of her eyes, and this is where one of her eyes is piercing towards Naruto's blue eyes. This is where Naruto hops down from the tree and looks towards, well, this girl. This is where Ayame is actually 5'1", and this is where Naruto says, damn, you really are short. This is where Ayame says, is that really what you're going to call me after so long? You aren't going to say, hey Ayame, it's been a while. Hey, I'm sorry for leaving you for 4 years and not talking to you, and not telling you where I was going and blah, blah, blah. She's pissed at Naruto. This is where, well, Ayame's friends are right now watching this, even her sister. And this is where they're kind of scared of Ayam because she is pissed. This is where a demonic presence behind Ayam appears. This is where Ayam is pissed and saying, you can't just say, hey, it's been a long fucking time. Why don't you ever fucking, well, how should I say hello to me, you bastard. This is where Naruto says, that is true. Well, Ayam isn't 5'1". She's like 4. What's kind of 4? She's 5'4", and this is where Naruto's like, I guess I can say hi. This is where Ayam almost slapped the shit out of Naruto, but Naruto easily dodged. This is where Naruto says, whoa, calm down. Why is every girl trying to slap the shit out of me every time I kind of visit? First it was Big Sis Ayam, and now it's you, Ayam, which you basically have the same name as my Big Sis. Other than that, whatever. Ayam says, hold still, Naruto. This is where it's not a demonic presence that's behind what's it called, Ayam. It's something more kind of godly. This is where Naruto sees it and says, is that Atlantis? Wait, not Atlantis. Poseidon. This is where he almost gets hit by a water spear. He almost gets hit by it. This is where Naruto, I would have gotten killed by that. This is where Ayam, she makes water spears out of nowhere. And this is where well, not water spears, mostly water tridents. This is where she says, hold still, Naruto. This is where... well, not Poseidon exactly. It's kind of like a water knight soldier. And of course, this is where she says, hold still, Naruto, for a second. This is where Naruto says, no, I won't hold still. I'll dodge. This is where Naruto appears right in front of her and says, because I can. This is where I am almost piercing with a water spear, but Naruto managed to grab her from the arm. This is where Naruto says, calm down, Ayam. I will explain later in what happened. This is where Ayam says, you better do. This is where Naruto says, I will. Just calm down. I'm not gonna, disappear in another 4 years and then come back. That's nothing like me. This is where she almost pierced, what's called Naruto's neck. And Naruto didn't dodge this time because Naruto knew that she was going to stop. And this is where she says, why didn't you dodge that time? Naruto says, because if you would have killed me, then I guess I would have been gone for eternity. This is where she kind of gulps her a little bit. And Naruto smiles and grinning at her. This is where, Naruto says, but I'll explain later. This is where Ayam says, you better. This is where Ayam's friends are actually coming straight towards Naruto and Ayam. And this is where, mostly Ayam just kind of jumps in front of Ayam and kind of hugs her and says, big sis, are you okay? Why are you so angry? This is where Ayam says, hey, Umi. This is where Umi says, sis, I have never seen you this angry. Maybe from the fact that, Esdef and Junko kind of pissed you off that one time, but I never seen you this kind of angry and scary. This is where, Ayam says, well, it's a lot of things that me and this guy has in history. This is where Naruto says, I mean, we only met for that 1 week. And then not 1 week, for those like couple weeks, but it's not much of it. It's just what I almost hits him with the spear. And Naruto grabs and breaks it. And this is where, Naruto says, stop trying to throw spears at me. I know you can create them out of thin air, mostly from the moisture of the ground, because it just did rain yesterday, but, This is where Ayam says, fuck off. This is where Naruto says, sure, why not? I'll disappear. This is where Ayam says, I don't mean that, bastard. This is where Naruto says, but then what do you mean? I mean, like, I don't know how I'm going to explain it to you. I know what you mean. I should disappear before he even gets to finish that. This is where Umi almost slapped the shit out of Naruto, but Naruto dodges. This is where Naruto says, excuse me, why the hell are you trying to slap me? This is where Umi says, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to make my sister angry enough. This is where I almost surprised that her sister even attacked Naruto. And Naruto says, it's for just playful banter. I don't know what you're so angry about. That's where Ayam has never seen Umi try to defend her or try to attack people. Umi's kind and very kind and hearted and all that. So of course Ayam is kind of surprised. And Junko and Esdef are surprised. But yeah. This is where Raven and Kai are also surprised. But yeah. That's where Naruto says, I guess so. Well, I'm gonna just go over here and just sit down in the shade. This is where Naruto, he disappears with his, like, speed. And Naruto says, whatever. This is where, well, Naruto, he doesn't have much of love motions or anything. He just doesn't care that much. He just gets memories of, well, Dante kind of like saying, what you need is this. Kind of points behind him and like a heart appears. Is love. This is where Vergil in his past life says, I hate you, brother. I'm leaving. This is where he disappears, but yeah. That's where Naruto, he's thinking of just disappearing from the academy and going straight back home and kind of, well, mostly not straight back home. He doesn't have a house. But of course, the Hokage said that he will have a house after this academy day. Mostly Naruto slept in the Hokage tower and didn't really care that much. That's where, well, Hiruzen did say that he can come towards the Sarutobi clan, but Naruto says he didn't want to be bothered much, so yeah. That's where, well, Hiruzen's side, but yeah. Naruto really wants to just ditch the academy now. This is where, well, Kaya then asks because her hair was white and blue, and she says, well, mostly not hair white and blue. She had white hair and blue eyes, and says, "So, how do you know that boy over there?" This is where, well, Hayam says, "We only met a couple of weeks, well, 4 years ago, but he was such a nice person. Right now, I seem like a jerk for attacking him. He probably wanted to tell me something, but he seems to be quiet. I don't know." That's where Umi says, "Nice guy? He seems like a jerk. How is he a nice guy?" That's where I am says, "That's just because you don't like people that talk bad about me. Or, well, that's mostly me trying to protect you from any other guy." Umi says, that's just because they see how beautiful I am." That's where I am says, "I mean, you are beautiful," says, "but, That's where Umi says, "What? I don't know if that's why he cares much or doesn't care, but, Then again, you should try to flirt with Naruto then." That's where Umi says, "I got this." That's where Umi tries to flirt with Naruto by trying to say nice words to him, and Naruto says, "What are you trying to do?" Usually people has a goal and desire to wonder why you're trying to get close to me. Is it because, not because my good looks, but good looks. There's no way in hell. And by the way, you're doing a terrible job in trying to flirt with me. But hey, I'll give you props for even trying. I don't have much emotion, so that's why you're trying to make me fall in love with you. It's impossible. So try it on someone who's actually having emotions and not someone who doesn't have emotions." This is where Umi was shocked, and this one Naruto says, "But whatever, I'm going home." This is where Umi says, "Home? If you haven't realized that we're in the half of, well, if you don't know this, we're about, I don't know, 35 minutes from lunch being over. Well, not 35, 5 minutes from lunch being over and then going towards back to the class." Naruto says, "That is true, but I can just ditch the academy. Who really cares? Wasn't this day that I didn't really need to be here, so bye." That's where Naruto, before leaving, he appears right next to Ayam. Ayama? Not Ayama. Aya? I am. This is where, well, Naruto says, "Hey, I'm gonna just tell you one thing. Bye, I'm actually just gonna leave. I'm going, I don't know where. I'm just bored, so yeah, I'm just gonna leave." This is where Ayam says, wait, what?" This is where Ayam was right next to her friends, and they all heard Naruto. Naruto says, "Don't worry about it." Naruto, like, gets something from his inventory, Yamato, and this is where Naruto just cuts the air, like, into a cross, and this is where a portal appears, and this is where Naruto says, "But see ya." This is where Naruto goes into the portal, and just, the portal disappears. This is where she says, "He can teleport with the, huh?" This is where they're all confused. This is where Naruto, the portal appears. This is where it goes straight towards Horusen's, like, office, mostly in the sky. Naruto lands on Horusen's, Basically, yeah, I said that twice. Office. And this is where, well, Naruto says, "Hey, Horuzen," because he teleported right next to Horuzen. Horuzen says, "Oh, Jesus Christ, Naruto, stop scaring the shit out of me." Naruto says, "So, do I really have to stay in the academy? Wait, it's not the academy date over." Naruto. Naruto says, "I don't wanna though. Why? It gives me way too many memories of something, and you won't explain to me." No. Fine. You can sit here for a while. But how long is lunch break? 35 minutes later. That's where he says, "Fine, you will have to go in 35 minutes. Yeah. That's where, well, Harusen says, "Okay, then go." That's where Naruto sits into his couch and just kind of lays there. That's where, well, the Yamus, they're just hiding their positions. That's where Naruto, he kind of gets like a couple of like rocks, or mostly a bouncy ball, and kind of like throws it straight towards the wall, and then it just bounces. And this is where Naruto throws behind him and hits an arm with the head. Bonk. This is where Naruto says, "Huh, I lost my ball. Hey Amu, can you give it to me?" This is where the Amu widened his eyes, thinking that Naruto didn't see him. This is where Naruto says, "Oh, and if you think you're going to just escape, I heard that little ball hit you in the head. And besides, I'm not stupid, so give me back my ball." This is where the Amu just tosses it back, and this is where Naruto says, "Bonk, bonk, bonk." He just keeps like throwing it like into the ground and all that. Like bounce, bounce, bounce. Oh no, sorry, why I say bonk. This is where it bounce, bounce, bounce. This is where Naruto throws it up in the ceiling. And Naruto says, "Oops, I hit the Anbu ceiling." This is where the Anbu widened his eyes, thinking that Naruto wouldn't see him. And this is where Naruto says, "I know there's three of you." Ooh, the bookshelf. This is where the Anbu says, "Okay, no, don't throw the ball at me." This is where Naruto says, "Ah, meanie, fine." This is where Harusen says, "Naruto, anytime." "Yeah, I know." This is where Naruto just goes back to class, and just goes, well, into a week time skip. Now it's the Genin test, but this is where I'm gonna leave it off for part 3 of What If Naruto was Reincarnation of Vergil and had the system. But yeah, have a nice potato day, potato night, potato sleep, potato, and bye bye.